Hi, this is Sean Higgins, and I'm really excited about this video because I get to show you the double James Bond secret weapon of all wealthy people, and that is called your own private retirement account. Some call them solo Ks, what have you. Listen, the setup on this can be a little confusing only in so much as you haven't been shown it before, because we've been told for so many years that somebody else has to manage your retirement account. Somebody you have to pay fees to, somebody they have to make decisions for you, all of these things. That's a bunch of baloney. I'm being very polite. Okay, so what I want to do is just show you how a private retirement account is set up. So you have to, first of all, as you can see up there on the screen, is you have to have your own LLC, S corporation, C corp, whatever. This is the sponsoring body of your private retirement account. What I mean by that is I've got an LLC, Billy Bob and Peggy Sue, whoever they are, they've got an LLC that's buying and selling real estate. There's a profit involved there. They take a portion of their profits and they go ahead and they set themselves up what you call your own private retirement account. Now, I'm not going to get into the percentage of those because that's what makes it so beautiful, is depending on your age and your income, or if you just don't want to, you can fund this as much or as little as you want to a certain extent. There are caps on the maximum on there, and I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the mechanics of it. So a percentage of profits and a percentage of contributions, okay, are going to go into that retirement account. Okay, now that money, and I'll get into rolling money over later on. Now that you've got your money inside there, okay, and you want to start doing deals, what we always recommend doing for no other reason than simplicity of doing deals, because most people don't understand private retirement accounts. They're like, what do you mean you can buy real estate in your retirement account that you're managing? Title companies, what have you, start to stress out a little bit. So I started developing this a while ago where I just opened up basically an LLC that was owned by the retirement account. Okay. In other words, my private retirement account opens up an LLC, zero taxes in there because it's literally part of the entity of your retirement account. So all real estate transactions go in here. So again, money goes into this private retirement account. You have to function that the money has to flow that way. But once it goes in there, you can drop it down into its own private LLC also. That way, because everybody here knows what an LLC is, right? Well, so do title companies, so do partners, so do contractors, so do counties when you're buying tax liens and tax deeds. And so everything is transacted within that LLC. It has a zero tax consequence. The first question people say is, well, didn't I take money out? No, all you did was change the asset, how you were holding it. You didn't actually take money out. This is where the big confusion comes in. Well, if I take money out of my retirement account, you're investing it. Think about this for a minute. If you worked at Apple Computer, they have a retirement account and they give you a choice of buying different investments, mutual funds, what have you. Didn't you take the money out of the retirement account? Well, not technically. You just bought an investment within it. That's exactly what you're doing with this setup. Okay. Only in this case, we're going to buy a bunch of real estate. Okay. And once that real estate goes inside that LLC over there and with zero tax consequence, you're going to be happy as a pig in mud. Okay. So what if I have an IRA or a 401k from an existing plan that I used to have? This is what I watch this great artwork. This is what I call it rolls over. So I can literally roll that into my new retirement account and you're good to go. So now that money's sitting over there, so I roll money over to it, I contribute money into it, I drop it down into that LLC that's owned by, you got it, the retirement account, and I can go ahead and start doing real estate transactions inside there. And there's zero tax consequence, well, in the immediate future. So in other words, when I sell a property, let's say I've got one right now that I've got in there, I paid $27,000 for it. We're putting approximately $70,000 in rehab into the house. And then, so let's just round it up and say we've got 100 grand into it. We're selling the property for $230,000. I mean, that's net. So that means there's $130,000 in profit, right? Okay. You got to back out because you got to back out the $70,000 and the 27,000 I've got in there, and I net 130,000. That's a huge tax consequence. That would kick me into a higher tax bracket. Oh, no. I'm not allowed to pay taxes on it because it's in my super duper retirement account. That's how they're set up. Okay. Now, do you have to do the LLC underneath that? I have got students that don't do that and they don't seem to have any problems. I had some bad experiences about 10 years ago where I bought 10 units and each and every single unit in there. I had to redo math on it because it was hours and hours of talking to the title company because I didn't have an LLC set up underneath it. So I learned my lesson that way. Do it whatever way you want. Either or, it doesn't matter. If this is something you think you have an interest in, like I said, full disclosure, I have got a Club 401k. You can go to Club 401k. Let me stop sharing here. .com and we'll help you out with that. It's not a big deal, or anybody you want. It doesn't really matter to me. The reason I've set up that company is quite simply is I couldn't find anybody that actually knew what they were doing. My students were going, wait a second, how did you do this deal? And so I showed them and they're like, well, how do I get it? I'm like, well, you got to find somebody that knows what they're doing. They came back to me. I said, okay, let's get some people around me that does. And literally we've done thousands and thousands of these over the last 12 years. So there you have it. That is how you set up your private retirement account. This is Sean Higgins saying, don't pay any taxes. Peace.